are tough. This is fantastic. Of course, this is important. That's why we're out here, right? The fact we can stand here in the cold doesn't mean anything to you guys. So thank you very much. So I am the host of Doug and Marty versus the World right now, heard across the ACN network. I'm a lifetime Washingtonian, an unabashed Christian, a conservative, a staunch advocate for our Second Amendment rights, and an unapologetic patriot. Among other things, right? Come on. Yeah. So I thank you for coming out, but also, we, the people, that's who we are here today to exercise our rights of free speech, which is what we're doing right now, the right of a peaceful assembly, and the right to petition for redress of grievances around the ongoing attack on our Second Amendment rights, right? All right, a couple things here. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It's funny how they don't understand English anymore, right? It's not even the old English, it is shall not be infringed. The framers understood the need to put limits on the federal government's power and delineate certain rights to the people. That's us. The Bill of Rights, the framers of our Constitution, recognized our God-given and inalienable rights to freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom from unreasonable search and seizures, the right of a speedy trial, the protection from cruel and unusual punishment, and the right to keep and bear arms. Now this is it. All men are created equal and are endowed by their Creator, and certain inalienable rights, that among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Government was designed to protect the rights given to us by God. Right? All too many times we have our legislators and those in authority trying to play God here, trying to say, no, we gave them to you, we can take them away, and they cannot do that. When the framers pledged to each other their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor, the founding fathers knew they were signing their death warrant. Right? I believe it. There's been a lot of bloodshed over the years to defend those rights, our Constitution, and our freedom, and it's our duty right now to continue that fight to maintain these rights for the generations to come, our kids and grandkids. Now, all throughout history, and even today, totalitarian governments, socialist regimes, and so-called democratic countries have been seeking to disarm its populace, its people, including the political left in our country. In Germany, the people are disarmed, violence is rampant, and street rapes go unchecked. In Britain, they've disarmed law enforcement. Here in America, the facts show that cities with the most strict gun laws have some of the highest crime rates. Chicago, Detroit, right? New York. During Hurricane Katrina, gun registration led to gun confiscation. Gun-free zones leave law-abiding citizens and the vulnerable unarmed and targets. Gun control advocates want to punish law-abiding citizens and leave you defenseless. The leftist, socialist, gun control zealots keep pushing a myriad of restrictions on your right to defend yourself, your family, and your property, and it's time we push back, right? Hold on, guys. Folks, if they can take away our Second Amendment or continue to whittle away at this, right, the rest of our rights are gone as well. We know that. The answer, though, is not disarming, restricting mag sizes, raising the age requirement, or gun-free zones, is it? Huh? No. We all know the best way to deal with a bad guy with a gun is with a good guy or a good gal with a gun, right? More people equipped, trained, and carrying versus less is the answer, right? We need to encourage a completely new generation the importance of our Second Amendment, start teaching firearm safety, sponsor shooting clubs, and make this a part of our education for every child in America. All right. Losing my place here. Sorry. So-called environmentalists. Now, if we do that, this can mean the difference between a 120-pound woman being beaten, raped, or killed versus that very same woman stopping the attack before it happens. It's the difference of an 80-year-old man jumped by a group of thugs, mugged and beaten to death, or that same man neutralizing the situation. It's the difference between a church shooter killing dozens versus being neutralized in 4 seconds, like in Texas, right? The average 911 call response time is 10 minutes. That incident was over in less than 5 seconds. Come on now. Hold on here. The truth is, responsible gun owners use a firearm to stop a crime, de-escalate a situation, and to defend a person, family, or property hundreds of thousands of times every year in America. The Heller case stated that the Second Amendment protects, and I quote, an individual right to possess a firearm unconnected with service in a militia and to use that arm for traditionally lawful purposes. It is your right. Neither temporary politicians nor unelected bureaucrats should ever be able to vote away or regulate your rights. Now back to the Declaration of Independence, which reminds us where the power comes from. This is important. To secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. We must let everybody know in that building and all across Washington State government that we do not consent, right? Article 1, Section 24 states clearly the right of the individual citizen to bear arms in defense of himself or the state shall not be impaired. We said that already. The fact is, this is important, and we're wrapping this up right now. The fact is that with a few exceptions, Washington State government has had one-party control for almost 40 years. And this current group is probably the most radical, leftist, anti-gun group we have ever seen. And they are hell-bent on passing more taxes and more restrictions on your rights. It's time to vote every one of them out of office. Amen? Starting with Governor Inslee, Attorney General Bob Ferguson, Lieutenant Governor Cyrus Habib, and Insurance Commissioner Kreidler. All right. We must send a loud, clear, consistent, and overwhelming message. Keep your bloody hands off of our Second Amendment rights. Keep your attempts to restrict or infringe our rights away. Now, just like our nice friend from We the Women or whatever, Carrie said, we want every one of you to vote, to have your neighbors vote, to register to vote, but also we need to support Second Amendment candidates only. And if they don't support the Second Amendment, vote them out of office. This just needs to be a mandate across this state ongoing that if you want to serve in this state, you will protect our constitutional rights starting with the Second Amendment. All right. God bless. Thank you.